is, I do believe, top in the league at 36%, which is quite incredible. They have 2.85 goals per game up against 1.69 goals against. Meanwhile, Flames have 2.43 goals per game and 2.14 goals against. This looks like Storm have the edge despite having 2 losses to Flames 1.
Yeah, that's on paper, though. Let's just.
That's on paper. Yes.
Yeah, that's on paper. So
if you look at the current series, right? Storm won against the Cobras in a forfeit. They lost the Cobras in a forfeit. My bad. Then they won against Storm in a 3-0. They won against Hawks, my bad, in a 3-0. They lost to Flames in a 3-1. And they won against Whitecaps in 3-1. Seeing that what we just saw, right? Flames beat out Storm, right? Last week, 2 weeks ago, I should say. And Whitecaps just absolutely stomped Ascension. And if we look at Flames, right? Flames up against Ascension, they 3-2'd. So you said it earlier, it depends who you're up against, right? It depends who you're playing and what your record will be. But right now, it just looks like it's completely in Storm's favor, despite the fact that Flames have already won against them once, and, well, they have a chance to do it again.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you get into the argument of sometimes in sports where, that there's a common saying of you are what your record says you are. But when there is, when it's a weird year as it is right now, I know that it's not a physical game, but, you get different circumstances going on. Sometimes teams cannot play, and I found that to be more true this time around than in previous seasons. You get some weird teams that are really good but just have a bad showing record, and I think this is the case for Storm, who have a really good case to be made for possibly a really good team going down the stretch here. So
looking down the stretch, listen, it's only the start of the season. We're not even a quarter in, right? So right now they have one of the best shooting percent differentials in the league, right? Their shooting differential is better. Sorry, not better, but almost the same as that of Cobra's, but inverted, right? You look at the Cobra shooting percentage, and it's 16% negative, right? And you look at the Storms, and it's 11% positive, right? You look at their goal differential, they score more than one goal. They score one more goal than their opponents score, right? Every game. They only let on 6 shots per game, and they shoot themselves 7.7. Flames, though, they shoot 8.5, but they let on 7.64. So that's pretty tight. Both teams are pretty tight on that. They shoot one more shot than they let on per net per game, but Flames are letting in a lot more goals and not scoring a lot more goals.
Yeah, and there's the key right there. We saw it last game. Even if you get a lot of shots, if they're not all going in, there's really no point into shooting those shots. I mean, there is a point, but I'm trying to make the point of if you're not shooting quality shots, then they're not going to go in, therefore making them kind of useless. So it seems like Storm kind of has that figured out right now, where they're shooting 7.7 a game and still producing a 36, almost 37% shooting percentage, which is really, really good.
That's almost it. Well, as the sheet shows you, right? 3 goals per game almost. And you have to consider that the difference is that some of those shots go off the post, right? They're not all stopped. And
Absolutely.
And so if you get those shots on net, right, it's closer to 50% shooting percentage, really, if you score those, right, that go off the post.
Yeah.
And so it's really strong.
Yeah, and going back to off the post things, and that's a big part of quality shooting. And the more times that you see that percentage start to dip down, like you said, there's more of those post shots, there's more of the ones that just don't go in, there's more that get saved. But having Storm being the best shooting percentage in their conference, it's just
All right, well, we're going to go into the game here, and I'm going to say it's a Storm 3-0. I'm very sorry, but I just realized what Storm are. It's Lottie Lettuce with Matt Roshi and and Teddy. And those guys have been playing together for over a year in 4 different other leagues. And so their chemistry is the best in any league, right? That team, right, just they've been playing with each other for so long. They've been playing with each other in so many games, right? It's not like they play together once a week or twice a week in RLPC. They play in so many other leagues, and honestly, they've proven that they are some of the better players in the league because of that, right? Chemistry is very important, and Storm, they have that chemistry, and it shows why they're 2-2, because that one forfeit loss, right? The other 3 games Lottie has played in, but Matt Roshi and Teddy did not. And so right now, they've only lost 1 game with Matt Roshi and Teddy out of the lineup, and they won every single game where they have been. And so I'm expecting this to be a W here.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's a great point. I actually did not. That's a great note of information, because I had no idea that they've been playing for that long, and explains their really good stat line. And yeah, this will be fun to watch for sure. I watched them play, I think, just a little bit ago, but yeah, not with all these players, so it'll be fun.
Lottie was either 2nd or 3rd overall pick in Season 12's draft, and when they picked him, he was already one of the best players, right? In the entire league, right? And that's saying something, considering he was already in other leagues, right? And well, he only added to that repertoire of leagues, and look at how fast already we're starting off here as your Messiah and Jalelo. How do you say that?
I would have to say Jalelo, yes.
Jalelo? All right, well, Jalelo as well, and on the Storm side, we got Lottie Les, Matt Roshi, Teddy, and yeah, that Yor and Messiah are very well and respected players here. Messiah is a very good CRL player, and Yor obviously needs no explanation, needs no entry. He's been one of the best players in RLPC history, right? He's been playing here for a very long time. He's been playing here for so many seasons, and his skill has never been questioned, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's an extremely good player, and you're already seeing a lot more speed, thank goodness, than last game. This is a much more fun game to watch already, as Lottie Lettuce almost puts it by Jalolo, but that's going to be saved away. So,
Mar,
really speedy start.
Mar, you can't troll me. Yor is a 2000 MMR player. He is not a sub. Why did you put a triple... Oh my god. Why is there a 2000 MMR player in AAA? Whose idea was that? No wonder he's subbing in right now. It's probably better than all the players on that team anyway. Oh my goodness. That's rough right now for the Flames. But listen, Prospect, Messiah, and Jalelo. Prospect is the one that's not playing currently. Prospect has played in most of their games so far otherwise, and he's been playing pretty good, but Yor is definitely not a bad choice to go to, considering he is a 2000 MMR player.
Yeah, that's... You said he's AAA, didn't you? Just a second ago. Yeah.
No. How is he AAA? That makes no sense. He's a 2000 MMR player. Look at that. A AAA player can't do that.
I would beg to differ, okay? I think a AAA player could probably shoot that shot, but you have a very good point in how does a player like that either drop down there or find a way down there? I mean, you know, I'll hold off the questions, but he's a really good player, and I just would have expected him to be a full-time major guy, but...
That and Yor and Lottie Lettuce are actually some very good friends, and they've actually do play together from time to time in duos when Matt Roshi and Teddy aren't there to help him out, and that is kind of rough for them when it does say. When they do play together, though, because listen, you do want to play with your best team, and Matt Roshi coming in here. Obviously, he isn't 1800 Matt Roshi, right? But he still plays the best with Lottie and Teddy, and you must have him on your team if you're gonna play with Lottie and Teddy.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that, you know, I've noticed for a long time. It's sometimes with teams. Mm-hmm. Skill is very important. Don't get me wrong, as Yor puts that in, But more importantly, if you have chemistry, it's gonna go a long way.
The quote-unquote AAA subs are the only ones who have scored so far, by the way. Just saying how quote-unquote bad these players are. They're scoring right now, and I mean, there's a lot of haters in the chat. Honestly, both of these players deserve to be in Major. They might not have the MMR for it, but listen, they are honestly better than their MMR shows. Yor is a top 5 player in one of the other most competitive leagues in Amateur Rocket League, and right, 1800 or not, that's saying a lot, right? And the only other player that's like really up with him there is Lottie, and so Yor is practically just as good as Lottie is, and if Lottie's deserving of the major seat, Yor definitely is. Yor is one of the better players and he would be still one of the better players in major. He has a right to play in this league.
Feels backflip from Lottie Lettuce, though. That is one he wants to have back. Definitely. For sure. So yeah, this is now, I think, your favorite time as a GM.
Yes.
As the Storm GM. Now let me explain myself. You want to see how your team reacts after they will probably drop this game. I'm just going to say it. They'll probably drop this game. You want to see how your team can come back from that. It says a lot when your team can drop one and quickly turn it right back around like nothing happened and, win 2 or 3 in a row. So I'm sure that, whether or not the GM is looking tonight, he'll be looking later and saying, wow, yep, you know what? They dropped this first game, but they were able to really, really step it up in the second. Now, not saying that might happen as Rachi puts that one through. It might even happen this game. So
the AAAs keep on scoring here. Oh my goodness! Rethink your who you put into majors and who you put into AAA. Both of these players are major players. What are they doing in AAA? Obviously, that's the reason why both teams only have 3 players in their major roster, because their quote-unquote AAA subs are actually their 4th major player. It's very obvious.
Oh no,
that's so close to going in. It's on the line. It's tantalizingly close, but it's gonna be stopped. Yeah, exactly. Matt never plays ranked. The only time he plays is with Lottie, and so Lottie and Teddy, and so obviously they're gonna play with him. The only reason why Lottie is even in this league, right, is because he was promised that he would play with his own teammates, and I don't think that sending Matt to AAA is going to stop them from doing so. Jalelo, he finally puts in the dagger there, and that's the first actual major player here, and that's telling you something.
And it's profile that picture's weird, man. I've seen that before. That's just a strange picture, but other than that, the Flames are looking pretty good here, I will say. I mean, they're up 4-2. Obviously, a different game because of some subs.
Oh no, I'm saying these are not subs. These are definitely.
Yeah, you're right.
They play in the AAA, but both teams only have 3 major players. It's definitely obvious that Yor and Matt Roshi are not subs. They actually play for the major teams and the AAA teams as well.
Yep, and there's
it's 5-2 right there.
There's Messiah, just adding another one. Just to, if it weren't safe enough already, just making it that much more safe. So
just put the final nail in the coffin there. Just twist the blade in their stomach. Right, they're already dying there. Just twist the blade, and they get their first win here. They need 3 though, and obviously best of 5. And we will see more coming out from both teams for sure. Shots are 9-6, so very close on shots there. But the saves, only 5 saves, and that's really interesting to see. The defense on both teams, very iffy.
Yeah, and I think it kind of shows too that I would have to say that a lot of those shots were taken. How those saves don't register all the time when they're taken so close to the goal line. And also
mostly rebound saves.
Yep. Yeah. And a lot of those other shots that we've seen were just clears. So I don't know. You just have to get that offensive rotation in for both teams, and then you'll start to see a pickup of a little bit more speed, a little bit more, whatever you want to put onto it. You know, it's up to you. But that was a really solid first game from both of these guys, considering not playing for a week or so. Almost an own goal from Yor, but it's going to be cleared away. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting second game. Let's see how Storm responds after losing
Lonnie,
that
what a
one.
pass there off the side wall, but he can't find Matt Roshi. That was so close. He demos Yor and Teddy now. He has the ball. Yor just spawns right in front of him, and Lottie has overcommitted himself, and he can't do anything about it. Jalelo, he's going to score that one, but Yor's the one, not Yor, Lottie's the last one to touch this one. He overextended there. Lottie should have rotated back.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's a big theme of tonight that we've seen, is just that overextension of the third man impacting an offensive play that eventually comes down to their half and it comes back to bite them. So if you are that third man right now, I think you just play it extra cautious, try to get back in your rotation and realize where you are in the field so you can come back and make that play, as another instance of that has almost impacted them again, but it's able to be saved away. It's passed to the middle, and it's going to be a great shot, great pass. Look at this.
Lottie going for the demo. Teddy putting it wide, but he puts it towards the front of the net. Jalelo misses it. And Teddy was about to put it in, but Matt Roshi was actually there, able to read his teammate. And that's good communication. That's a good team play there. All three players practically in that goal. And that's exactly what you want to see, right? You want to see all three players coming in and joining into the fun, because that's how you get goals, right? You demo one person and you beat out the other one in the net. That's normally how you get a goal.
Yep, and that's a really good point. And the other thing is, which I don't think many major teams are able to do, is put a shot that a defender can't make the save on, and that's really difficult to do at this level, which is why it was such a good point. If you bump someone out, they can't possibly make the save. I mean, it just is what it is. So,
like you said, right? It's hard to make a shot that it's really hard for anyone to save, right? Normally at this rank, instead, what you'll do is that you'll shoot and hope for a bad touch, right? You'll hope for a bad clear, and that's a free rebound goal, right? Or an easy pass to a teammate for a nice shot like that one, but it's too high, and Messiah's able to make the save.
Well, and this is the offensive pressure of Storm starting to get the Flames, but that was a missed pass opportunity right there. Yor had Messiah on the left side, he missed him. And now it's a little bit more of a relaxed time on defense if you're Storm, and they're able to get it out on a clear.
The Storm are trying to fan out the Flames right now, and it's tied, and it's really, really close. Last time the Storm just got out because of the heat. They just couldn't stand. And but this time around, Storm are staying in it. In fact, it's the Flames now that are holding on by a rope. They only got one shot, and that one goal. It was a counterattack goal. They have not been able to apply pressure offensively whatsoever, unlike Storm, who have 5 shots and have been staying in the offensive zone for a majority of this game. And it's all thanks to those demos. That's like the 4th demo of this game. Very well played there. It's off the back wall. It's going to be cleared out. Teddy, the shot on a shot here in the corner. Matt Roshi's going to try and get this one. No, he waited. That's a very smart play, actually. That absolutely outplays Yor. And that leaves Messiah now to try and get the clear. Teddy's going to get it before Yor does. But Messiah's in the wrong direction. A pass over to Matt Roshi is stopped. That's a great pass from Teddy, though. Matt Roshi gets it over to Lottie, and Lottie's going to miss that one. Matt Roshi, he can't collect that one. Jalelo almost getting a second goal from from a clear like that. He almost capitalized on it, but he can't.
Yeah, and this is, again, I think what is happening here for both teams is there's mostly pressure for Flames, but that third man on Storm is still overextending, which is leading to a lot of dangerous shots coming from clears for Flames, and that's what they're trying to take advantage of. They know what they need to do.
What a pass!
They just can't execute. But
wow. Yeah,
what a save.
What a save indeed. Mike is the only player, by the way, as we continue talking here. Yor and Matt have scored the majority of these goals, right? And that's what's curious on my end, right? Both of these players have been their team's MVPs, right? Do you have to agree?
Yeah, I would agree 100%.
And currently, they are stuck in AAA. and yet they're playing in majors because, well, it's better than the alternative, right? Why would Storm use Tika when he has no chemistry with Matt Roshi, Teddy, or Lottie, right?
Right.
It's much better to bring in Matt Roshi at that point. On yours end, right, you have Jalelo Messiah, and you have someone else who's been actually playing pretty decently for the Flames. It was Prospect. But if you can't help it, right, you bring Yor in. Yor's been playing absolutely amazing, and I don't think this is his first time subbing in for this team. And it kind of shows because he does have a lot of communication with that.
Oh, man.
Get it past two. That's a nice double commit. Air dribble. I've never seen something like that before.
Yeah, that was almost a beautiful soft touch into the top half of the net, but saved away. And here's a possible counterattack. It's going to be way wide. So...
Or pops it up, though. Jalelo, it's going off the back wall. Messiah's overextended, and we go to overtime.
Yep, and if that were in regular time and that overextension happened, that's another instance of what could happen when that stuff happens, but they got lucky.
Get back in time. That's gonna go off the back wall, though. Jalelo can't find it, but neither can Lottie. No, Lottie, you need to hit those. Actually, both players need to hit those. Lottie up in the air, that one goes. Jalelo, he's bumped by Matt Roshi. And that's a good clear. Teddy and Matt Roshi there with a good clear. Messiah with a shot on net, stopped by Lottie. Wow, that's coming out of nowhere from him. I thought Teddy would for sure had that. With a shot, what a save by Matt Roshi. And now it's the Flames. They are coming out fast and furious right now in this overtime. And their shots on net are deadly. These shots could have all gone in, yet they're all stopped suddenly. 4 shots coming out of the Flames, and 3 shots, my bad, by the Flames in this overtime. Now 4 in this overtime coming out of the Flames, and they are absolutely blazing over this Storm team. Lottie's the first one that can get to that ball, though, and he puts it into the corner. Suddenly they can't get the clear out. What's been going on here?
Well, it's a combination of missed rotation and just really good shot taking from Flames. And when Storm tried to fan out the Flames, I gotta say, they only spread them. And now they're starting to really show what they can do, even if they are shut down a little bit more than usual. And they've got 4 shots already, correct?
They now have 4 shots in this one.
And it's just, I don't know how they've made half those saves if you're Storm, but really good job from them. But even better pressure from the Flames. So we'll see what happens here if there's a change of momentum, and it kind of looks like it's starting to shift towards that. So
yeah, there might be a shift in momentum. Maybe just Storm not able to find anything. That ball slowly rolls in. Matt Roshi's still the only player on this team to find a goal. Lottie making a good pass. Messiah can't read it. Messiah, that is so close, but once again can't be found. Just on the side of the Flames. But 8 saves is not going to be enough if you can only score 1.
Yep, and usually to win a game, you got to score 2 to 3, and the Flames didn't do that time. And it looked like they had the win, I got to say, in the very first minutes of overtime.
Yeah, but that's the problem, was that Storm was absolutely just had the advantage the entirety of the game. And then suddenly something switched in when that overtime started. Flames came out so strong. And suddenly the defense just came out like an iron door. And nothing could break through that iron door, right? And they just found that one shot in the overtime. It's all they needed. Storm tie up the series. It's now tied at 1.
Well, this is going to be a fun one, and there's the bounce-back game that they needed to get a little bit more confidence. It didn't look good from the start, but they came back into it. They stuck with, what they know works for them. And right now, it is starting to work out here. It's kind of a weird start to this one. Of some missed rotations all over the place.
By the Flames. They're everywhere. They're bumping each other. They're double committing, and Jalelo scores on himself.
Well, this one, if you're Flames, you forget about it. I mean, something happened. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to realize what exactly happened, but someone missed a rotation, and that just affected the rest of those remaining 10 seconds of that possession. And immediately Storm have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah. Funny little stat here. Before that kickoff, Flames combined in points. Ooh, that's a nice goal there. Nice find from Jalelo. He says sorry for letting that one in the eyes. I got you. Before that goal there, Flames had less points than Matt Roshi did. That was just a funny stat that I saw. All 3 Flames players had less points than the bottom player for Storm, which I found quite amusing up until that goal, which absolutely destroys that stat now. You're trying to make that shot, but stop. And Teddy, he's got no boost. He fakes out one, and Messiah has a bad hit there. Yor gets a bad hit, and that's a double commit by Messiah coming in there, and they aren't punished. Oh,
yeah, there's some, I don't really know it's just slow. You know, they're not playing quickly on those rebounds, and that's just really affecting Storm right now to not be able to punch one in. You have to play a little bit quicker if you're going to get it past the defense, especially in the major levels. So both teams need to speed it up if they want to find a couple more goals in this one.
Good redirect from Lottie, but it's not going to find a teammate. Messiah is going to back flick that up into center field. Off the back wall, this will go. The game gives Messiah a save, despite that ball. I don't think going anywhere close to going into the, even hitting the post. Teddy, he's going to find Lottie here, up in the air for Matt. Matt's going to put it off the corner, back over to Teddy, to Lottie. Lottie can't find the back of the net. Jalelo, what a save there.
Yep, and that was nothing to do with something going wrong on offense for Storm. That was great defense from Flames right there. Just able to keep that one out of the back of their net.
No, for sure, and I do have to say something. I was taught back a long time ago that in whatever sport you play, if you let your opponents get a point, right? No matter what game it is, right? No matter what sport it is, if your opponent got a point, you made a mistake. Flames did not make a mistake on that play, and and they couldn't score. No matter how good of a play you make, right? If your opponents don't make a mistake, it's not going in, no matter how good of a play it is, right?
Yep.
If you're in position, that shot doesn't go in. And Lottie there, out of position, his save goes off the post, and he puts it into his own net. We're halfway through this game here. Jalelo, that shot was absolutely spot on, and that was a quadruple doink off the post there before Lottie put it in. He's mad at himself for that one.
Yeah, speaking of that, though, I mean, I was going to say, and that play plays in perfectly to what I was going to say, it doesn't have to be a huge mistake. It can be something that you barely see, but it's there, and it affects the rest of the play. Mm-hmm. So that's a really good point that you make, because a lot of times, sometimes you don't see a mistake, you don't realize, oh, what could he have possibly done wrong, right?
Oh,
that's a great touch comes through from Teddy.
And that's the first goal? Oh my goodness, that's the first goal for Teddy in this series. I forgot to say that Lottie's goal, the own goal on the game was also the first goal that wasn't from Matt Roshi, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to say something. These guys, the reason why they are able to play together, right, the Storm team, is because they actually flat out say that they will not play unless all 3 of the guys play together, right? Unless all 3 of those guys are on the same team. Which is why I'm not surprised that Matt Roshi is here despite being put in AAA. Obviously, he's going to play if Lottie and Teddy are there, because Lottie actually refuses to play if his teammates aren't, right?
Yeah,
and he's done this actually in another league. He demanded a trade, right? Because the other team, a team picked him up, and his other 2 teammates were on that team, and he refused to play for that team. And, well, that team got absolutely nothing from drafting him because, well, he just didn't show up and needed to be dropped. He had no value in that.
Yeah, but that's, that's great. That's great that they have that teammate, that connection. But at the same time, you sometimes have to
play with someone else. I do have to agree,
go with
right?
the flow.
Let's say Taki, right, has to come in here, or maybe not, right? If Taki has to come in and play some games, right, it's gonna be rough because Lottie doesn't play with Taki that much, right? He plays with Matt, he plays with Teddy, but he doesn't play with Taki all too much. Storm drafted him, but they also drafted Teddy and Matt Roshi at the same time in that same draft.
Yeah, and that's going to be an interesting dynamic. I think that's a great topic to talk about on the desk for the remainder of the season is, that personality type thing with this team.
Yeah.
Does it affect, who wants to show up there if they keep these guys for multiple seasons? What a good effort there from Go, but it doesn't go in.
They've been together for 2 seasons now, and Storm, obviously they didn't win. Am I confusing you with Teddy? No, didn't Teddy play in the... Oh wait, that's right. No, are you guys a 4-stack? Wait, no, because Teddy plays with Taki as well. I'm confused here. I may be confusing Teddy with Taki here, but I'm pretty sure that Teddy's played with them guys as well. Yeah, in that league and the other league that Mar you participate in.
Well, we're in overtime now.
We're in overtime.
2-2.
Yeah. 2-2.
So 15. Sorry, almost 20 seconds. So.
Yeah. Honestly, like this series has been so tight, and I do like what I see. Taki, I'm sorry, man. I completely forgot that this team is a 4-stack. It is a 4-stack. I just checked in the other spreadsheets that I have. This is a 4-stack. Teddy is a part of the 4-stack.
Okay. All right. So that eliminates one
Taki,
AAA player.
Yeah, exactly. So Taki, if he can't play, right, Matt Roshi will play. And if Teddy, let's say Teddy will play or Matt Roshi will play, right? But these guys all play with each other. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's the confirmation. So yeah, these guys all play with each other, right? So if there's ever a problem, right? If ever one of these 4 players, right, can't make it, right, or 2 of these 4 players, I should say, since it's a 4-stack. If ever one of these 2 of these 4 players can't make it, or 3 out of these 4 players can't make it, right? You need to sub in a lot of guys, right? And that's not going to be a fun time, I'm sure, because these guys, they play with each other so much, and if you lose that chemistry because you need to play someone else, it's going to be rough. And Taki, sorry I forgot you were part of the 4-stack. I just haven't seen you in a while. And you've only played 1 game in this season so far, so I did not know that you were part of the 4-stack. I completely forgot, but yes, I do remember now you were a part of the team from last season, as well as the team in the other leagues. I can even check those other leagues for right now just to be sure that Teddy's in them.
Yeah, and this game was, I think, exactly what Malum wanted to see. Malum's GM for that Storm work. The Storm work, and that is exactly what you want to see. Your team drops 1 early, they come back, win 2 in a row, now they have a series lead. That is a team that is equipped for success down the road when they're going to have more challenges. So far, great work from Storm coming back from that, but now it's the hardest one to get. It's the 3rd win.
Yeah, it's always been the hardest one to get, in my opinion. 3rd game, always just hard to get. So yeah, in the other leagues, it is Taki, Lottie, and Matt and Teddy. So yeah, it is that they've got going on in those other leagues. And game number 4 here, they're gonna come here and absolutely just stack and hope that they've got what it takes here, because Flames are really taking it to them, right? You're especially has been pretty quiet since game 1. Right, he had that hat trick in game number 1 and hasn't scored since. But it's not to say that he's a bad player.
No, not at all. No, you can't. Just based off of one bad series or one so-so series, as I think he's going to put this in. Yes, he is. That's Jalelo getting another goal here, but yeah, you can't base a player's skill off of one series. Sometimes you get a rough one, and I think that's what he's having right now. But he'll bounce back, just like this Flames team has bounced back and now hold the momentum here in game number 4.
And his teammates have really shown up here. But listen, they have a 1-0 lead. This time they need to hang on to it because they've been scoring first and then letting in the game-tying goal, and it went right. They were up 2-1. They let in that game-tying goal there, and then they lost in overtime. So both overtime losses, they had a lead at some point, and they just need to find a lead and keep it this time if they want to win this game and bring it to game number 5.
Yep, and that's important for them to keep up this this lead, because if you give something to Storm, I think they're just going to take advantage and just break it down even further. And that might happen here, but it's going to be saved.
Matt Roshi up against your both AAA subs there, getting their justs, and they find nothing there. Your wins that 50 up against Matt Roshi once again, but he's going to beat Matt Roshi. Oh, wow, you're trying to flex on his opponent there, and he does. Oh no, that's an overextension, but ooh, look at that. Last man back actually pushes here, and as you see, all 3 players here are going to be in the crease. Lottie Lettuce, bad landing. Matt Roshi's in the net, so both players are in the net, and Teddy pushes up. If that doesn't go in, that's in the other net.
Well, and that's a smart play, though. I mean, if you see a ball hanging, just kind of sitting there waiting to be pushed into the back of the net, you got to go for it no matter where you are on the field, because that's an opportunity, and in Major, those opportunities don't come very often. So you just need to take advantage whenever you can. Smart play from Teddy to push up even his last back.
Oh,
Jalelo will give him a little ride there.
Oh, but Teddy, he's going to bring him for a ride up in the air. Lottie, up it goes, but Jalelo's able to read it. Teddy puts it back in with a good backflip, but Yor's going to pass it over to Messiah. Messiah's been kind of quiet. Yor, he overextends. He's got no boost, and he can't get to this, and Lottie's going to score this from his own zone. 3 minutes left to go here. And, oh no, Yor out of position there, tried to go for boost. And when he saw that the shot was shot into his zone, there was nothing he could do with no boost.
Yeah, sometimes when you get into those positions with no boost, your instinct, at least my instinct, will tell me just go back, but in Major, you need to stay in that offensive play, and that's what he tried to do, as this one almost goes through, but sometimes you just need to grab some of those pads as Teddy, and there's the momentum. And They've went from light rain on the radar to a full-on pink storm, and they are not letting up anytime soon. Yeah, only halfway through this one.
Puts it in. Now Matt Roshi's the only one who hasn't scored this game, and yeah, he hasn't scored since game 2. So, yeah, the guys who people in the chat expected to show up showed up late, right? It was the AAA guys, all AAA in games 1 and 2, and in game number 3 and 4, it's been all the Major guys, but these guys obviously all play with each other. Teddy trying to pass it back to Lottie. Everyone's just stuck up there, and that's just a slow play. You need to keep it out of your zone, though, if you're Storm right now. You can't leave opportunities like that. Jalelo, he doesn't rotate out and leave it for Messiah since he had no speed. Messiah was coming in trying to go for it, but I think he called it out too late.
Well, and that broke down really quickly. Jalelo able to take, but that's a smart play from Matt. I mean, he pushes it to the side, buys a tiny bit more time for his team. They just couldn't rotate back in time. We have a really close one here in a make or break game for Flames.
Very, very close indeed. And yeah, it's really, really rough right now going for the Flames. They just need to find that one to tie it up. They're down by 2. They need to tie it up. They need goals here if they want to win. Letting in another goal here will mean that they need 3 more after this one just to win, right? And they need 2 to make it to overtime.
Yeah, it's not looking good right now. What a save from Jalelo, though. My goodness, and he kept them alive right there. They've got a tiny bit more of a chance, but really solid play from Storm right now. Oh, he touched it away. It looked like Teddy might have been there, but yeah, this has been dominant so far from Storm, even though they've let up a couple goals here.
Mm-hmm. Well, is seriously talking here, Flames actually have the lead in shots, right? But they don't have the lead in saves, right? The saves are 4-2 right now in favor of Storm, and that's odd to say, right? A low amount of saves, and it's pretty equal to the amount of goals. Oh no, Messiah with that opportunity. It's a 1v1 situation, but he just puts it wide. Matt Roshi is going to take this ball off of the sidewall, and no one expects that one. Lottie led us over to Teddy. What a great passing play there. It's just not finished off.
Yep. And you talked about the shots being uneven, but in favor of Flames, and that's quality control yet again. I mean, we talked about it last series quite a bit, and I think even though it's just by 2 and it's not much, those 2 shots could have been having them at 4 goals right now.
What a pass down. Look at that.
Oh,
Teddy
man.
gets the hat trick from Lottie, and this is the Storm team that we all know, the kind of chemistry that you can only have from playing with people for months, for years, I would even say. These guys look like they've been playing together in so many other leagues, right? As I've been saying, as I've been going on and on about, right? There's no reason why this team should be losing whatsoever. And Flames, they've gone up here and they've given them a good fight. They still have that one last little breath here. 6 seconds to go. Can that breath turn into anything?
Well, it's going to have to be a pretty big gulp of air at sea level so you get the most oxygen possible. That was a bad joke. I'm so sorry, but... Oh my goodness. It looks like they were right on the beach.
They made it to shore, ladies and gentlemen, and off to overtime we go. They found 2 goals, and to get to Game 5, they need 3.
Well, and that one right there, you said earlier, it's someone's fault every time a goal is scored. That one, very little fault on those plays. It's not going to go in, it's not. They're just going to save it away. My goodness, I didn't expect this.
In a row, and no, we did not expect that one with 10 seconds to go. We expected that 4-2 lead to be the dagger there, and no, that's going to be put aside now, and we need to find one last goal here. If the Storm score and the Flames comeback here is all for naught, the series is over. If the comeback, though, actually pays off, we go to Game 5. That shot isn't on net. Teddy's going to put it to the side here, and he's going to be the one to pick it up. He's got no boost, though, up against Yor. He beats Yor with no boost, and Jalelo gets a really bad touch, which means Matt Roshi can put it in. Teddy does get demoed once he does get full boost. And Jalelo, he's going to beat Lottie, and he's going to beat him out of his own zone. Yor with a shot in that's going to go off of the ceiling, though. Put it to the corner. Off in the back wall. Teddy going for the demo on Messiah. Messiah seeing him first. Messiah going up for it. Lottie is going to get to that one. Jalelo up in the air. Matt Roshi, he's going to get it, but it's not towards the front of the net because Yor is there. Lottie and Yor are stuck together now. Matt Roshi demos Jalelo while Yor and Lottie were practically interlocked in the other corner. That shot just could not find anything. You're still tied at 4 with 1 minute and 20 seconds having been passed.
Yep, this is a fun one to watch, though. I mean, it's a battle of 2 teams that can really produce some offense here. Almost a shot coming through for Teddy, but no team in this overtime maybe leaning more towards Storm, having more pressure, but it's been really even so far through this first minute 40. So.
Oh no! What are you doing? What is that play? That's a throw, Matt Roshi.
He must have. His player got demoed right there. He must have thought he was not going to get demoed there, and maybe come off of that left side of the field there and clear that ball away. But that's a question.
Communication leads to a Game 5 here. Flames with an incredible 2 goals in the last 10 seconds.
Now everybody raised their hands if you would have thought the communication would have been an issue for Storm.
Oh no,
that's what I thought. Yeah, that's a shocker right there. I mean,
that is definitely something that I did not see coming here. I did not see that kind, especially overtime to end in that fashion, right? Matt Roshi practically scored on himself with that one, and it's not by his fault whatsoever, right? His teammate he must have seen that he was the last only one in the offensive zone and said, "Oh, we should retain possession. Let me pass it back." Right? Which is something that really good teams actually do, right? You watch RLCS and you see that quite often, actually. To keep possession, you'll pass it back. You see that in many other sports as well, right? Instead of keeping in the offensive zone, giving possession away, you pass it back, right? And just that one time that they do, it finds the back of the net. That's gonna go wide for Teddy. He's not gonna find his own rebound. Jalelo, though, with a bad clear, it's not gonna be punished. Teddy passes it down to Lottie. Lottie misses, but so does everyone except for Messiah, and he's gonna put it into the corner. Put it up in the air. Matt Roshi misses it. Teddy, he's gonna go up for this one. So does Lottie. No one's in the net. Can they punish? No, the shot's not on net. Lottie's able to get back in time. Matt Roshi with that ball. He flicks it over one. He's only got 2 more to beat, but that's a save by Jalelo. And Messiah is going to get demoed there by Teddy as he tried to take the boost. Up in the air he goes. Yora's going to go for it. Put it back into the corner. Up against the wall this goes. Lottie with a weaker clear, but it goes over to Matt, who gets bumped aside by Jalelo, and he takes it. Passing it over to Messiah. Messiah's shot is wide. And yeah, both these teams right now, they definitely want to win, and they both have good reason to say that, hey, we deserve the win more than the other here.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, if you're looking at this from a pure series standpoint and what happened last game, the momentum goes to Flames 100%. I mean, they came back from down 4-2 with about 6 seconds, and you rarely see that, and that's going to be, oh my goodness, that's going to be the first domino to fall for Storm. They're down with 3:20 to go.
Yeah, and once again, overextension. And this comes back to bite them. That practically went from the middle of his own zone directly into the net. Barely hit the goal line as it went in. That was an amazing shot there. And very well precise. And oh my goodness, this Storm team, right? They played together a lot, and the fact that the overextensions, right, seem to be a problem so far, right? That's been something that's been plaguing them, I think, all series. The overextensions. And this is something what a save!
What a save from Lottie.
I was thinking for sure that was it.
Yeah, it looked like it for sure. I mean, he had the shot where it needed to be to make it as hard for the defender as possible, but it just didn't go through. What a save from Lottie, and that keeps the game alive.
It definitely does. I mean, you're never dead until the fat lady sings, right? And the Flames just showed that last series, right? We all thought it was over, series over. Even almost Magic Mike, Storm 3-1, exactly what I said from the get-go. And suddenly they scored 2 goals, and well, Magic Mike hasn't said anything since. 2:20 left on the board. Lottie Lettuce has something to say, and it's that we're not dead yet.
Yep, they are not going to leave until they've given every last inch of energy they've got left. And it's showing right now, both teams playing really solid. When you see a 1-1 scoreline about halfway through the game, usually it means that both teams are playing well. Messiah punishes the bad kickoff. It's 2-1 already.
Oh no, Teddy gets to it late. Lottie gets to it late. I don't know if was it Teddy meant to go for the fake kickoff there, because Lottie seemed ready for that one, but it goes wide and it goes in. That's not what you want to do, right? You just scored a goal. You just tied it back up, right? It was tough scoring that one goal, and you've let in 2 very easy, soft ones, right? Totally preventable goals.
Absolutely, and those are heartbreakers too.
Wait.
I mean,
wow,
man, that's gonna get him right back in it.
Up 3 last draft. There's a reason why these players, right, are so highly regarded when they play. Why they seem to always dominate, right? It's not just because of the chemistry. They have skill, and Lottie being the one with the highest MMR, right? He's got a lot of skill, and he loves to show it.
Yep, chemistry plus skill equals wins. That's a simple equation for this league and any league that you play in, and Storm are starting to show that. Is this a shot? No, it's not. It's off the post.
Wide. But that demo was actually a blessing, a cursed blessing there, right? Because you think, oh, well, we're able to get the clear now, and the net's wide open, and suddenly he responds, and, well, you find yourself that, oh, well, there's someone in the net suddenly, right? And so it's getting demos that are like blessing in disguises, right? They're curses that look like blessings. They might feel good for the time being, but if you're able to get a counterattack out of it, most of the time it's actually going to be stopped because the player has respawned.
Yep, and you see sometimes, not very often, but there are some really smart plays that have been made in the past that I've seen casting over this season and last season, that a player will go for a demo in their own half just so they can get the clear, but they realize the ball's already been cleared and they hold off of getting the demo just to have that 3-on-2 advantage. And that is, I think, what it's so important. You have to have every advantage you could possibly want to win a Rocket League game. So
right, you got to think about it like, do you play Counter-Strike, Moss?
I used to.
Okay. That's like waiting to kill, right? The terrorist player after time, right? Let's say it's a 1v1 situation. You wait and you survive as the CT up until the time has expired, and then you kill him, right? Because then they don't get any money, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's the big brain play, right? But if you get killed, right, that's the risk reward. And so by not demoing that player, right, well, what's the risk? Well, the risk is that they're able to put that ball back in, and that player that you didn't demo, that you reluctantly didn't demo, could get that opportunity to score, right?
Absolutely. And it's almost like also being a CT, not killing until that bomb is being planted.
Yes.
Or vice versa when the bomb's being defused if you're on the T side. So it's it's just simple risk reward, really. I mean, you brought up a really good point. So
I'm glad someone knew at least the example I brought up there, because there isn't really another example I could think of for that, because it definitely is a risk reward play. Right, and you need to go for those plays, right? You don't want to screw your own teammates by giving the other team an advantage by accident, by thinking you're doing something right. Let's say, right, doing a demo, right, and well, now it's turned that 2v2 or 3v2 opportunity into a either 2v3 or 3v3 opportunity.
Yep, and we have a really good overtime as well here. As we've been talking, it's just been
back and forth.
Midfield back and forth. I mean, no real pressure. So
well, the pressure is whoever scores next is the series winner. That's so close, Teddy, with the save there. Whoever scores this next goal, it wins, right? This entire series we've been playing for over an hour now, or close to an hour now, and they need one goal now, right? We started, you need to win 3 games, right? And then the series was tied at 1. Okay, you need to win 2 out of the next 3. Then the series was tied at 2. Okay, you only need to win 1 game, and now we're in overtime. The 4th straight overtime, might I add. And yeah, that's how close these teams have been. There's 4 straight overtimes.
Yep, and this game could theoretically go on forever. I mean, or until the server dies. Usually the server dies comes first, but...
Wait, no!
That's gonna put it through.
Oh, Matt Roshi, he started off the scoring in this series. He's the one to end it. He hasn't scored since game 2, and this one comes in clutch. He wins the series for his team, and Storm get it done. And that's how we end off our 4th and final series of tonight.
Yep, and that is... Magic Mike says, Storm 3-2, I called it. Well, I don't know. I think you said 3-1 if I remember correctly,
but... 3-0 if I scroll up here. Pretty sure he said 3-0. Just wanting to look.
He just changed his prediction as time went on. It's all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody does.
Almost Magic Mike. Storm 3-0 at 8:56.
No scrolling, he says.
No scrolling, he says. But yeah, Storm, I had a feeling they would win, but I did not realize just how close this would be. Flames absolutely showing off their skill here, and can you admit, look, we just saw 2 amazing series back to back, and all 4 of those teams are in the same division. This is the toughest division by far.
Yeah, and there might be, this is people might hate me for this, but there might be one team that could be out of it, and that might be Ascension.
No, I completely agree. Ascension have been staying with the same team since season 11, and it didn't work out last season despite having Slice. Why would it work out this season when the teams are even better, right? So it worked well when everyone was just GC at minimum, right? But now everyone's Supersonic Legends at minimum.
Yeah, and that's that's where you get into the really good, players, and every division is tough. There's going to be a lot more parity in the league. We're already seeing the only 4-1 team being the Whitecaps.
Right? Because think about it, right? There's less parity. Because back in the day, right, in season 11, you had a player named Feral who was 2,100 MMR playing up against guys who were 1,500 MMR, right? Season 11, the only restriction was you need to be GC to make it to Major, right? And so when you have these RLCS caliber players playing up against these guys who just got GC, right? They're going to be easy pickings. And so it's understandable that Feral's team was the team to beat Slice, and another 2,200 MMR player, right? He won it for the Sharks that season. He practically single-handedly dragged the Sharks past the Ducks, past the Cobras, made it to the finals, and dragged them to a win, right? He absolutely carried. And that was the power back then of a 2,000 MMR player. Nowadays... Sorry, my bad. Having a 2,000 MMR player nowadays is a must. You must absolutely have a 2,000 MMR player to be competitive now. And thankfully, there's no shortage of them.
Yep, and we are going to be back with you guys. You'll take this away. We are having some time constraints, so
well, yeah.
I hate to say it, but our fun night is going to be over very soon. But those were two great series. Whitecaps took care of Ascension fairly easy. They move on to be 4-1, and the Storm eventually take care of Flames, and both of those teams sit at 3-2 with Storm holding that tiebreaker right over their heads. So a fun division indeed.
Yeah, that's going to be one to watch out for, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming along to the RLPC tonight. If you enjoyed, please hit that follow button. And thank you so much for coming along, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you all next time.